Hey everyone, it's Ryan Leonard with Wolfnest Property Management, and today we've got some information more geared towards tenants. So this is Utah Renter's Guide, tips for a first-time renter. So whether you are moving out of mom and pop's home, or you've owned your own property and you're moving here to Utah and you haven't rented in a long time, here's just some things that you want to focus on or make sure that you're checking off as you're looking at potential properties. So obviously this process of finding a home, condo, townhome to rent is pretty daunting. Whether you're out of state and you're trying to find something here in Utah, or you're here in Utah and it's just such a competitive market that you find one that you like, and then by the time you actually apply, it's already gone. So at the end of the day, this is just kind of a checklist to go off of, just to make sure that you're going to find that right rental property and that you know exactly what you're signing up for. So as far as the checklist goes, first step of that is determining your needs and wants, right? You want to make sure that, okay, if you have 3 kids, that you have a home that's going to be able to, fit you comfortably, or if location is important, again, you want to make sure that you're finding properties so you're avoiding an hour-and-a-half commute to work every day. Next thing is, what type of property do you want to rent? Do you want to be, really low maintenance? Maybe a condo or a townhome could be a better fit because you don't have a green thumb and you don't want to have to worry about, maintaining the lawn every week. How many bedrooms you're looking for? How many bathrooms? That's a big one. If you've got a couple kiddos and a wife, you want to make sure that everyone has a sink to be able to brush their teeth, especially during, the chaotic morning routine. What is your budget? That's a big one. Now, a lot of the different sites that we syndicate to have great filters that you can apply when you're doing your search. One is bedroom, bathrooms, property type. Another one is budget. You want to make sure that you're staying in budget. And when you're looking at a listing, make sure you read all that fine print, because that rental rate may not include utility fees, or you want to make sure that you have enough money to afford rent, your other recurring bills, but also, factor in gas, electric is going to be in on top of that. Next thing is, are there any specific areas that you want to live? Now, this city is growing and booming, so there's a lot of cool areas that you can pick. If you want to be close to the mountains, maybe something more in Cottonwood Heights or up in Park City, so you're close to the ski resorts. Or if you're going to be working in Silicon Slopes, and you don't want to be in the hustle and bustle of Lehigh, Utah, maybe you want to be closer to Draper, Bluffdale, Riverton, so you can get there quickly. But again, you're not, in the mix and the craziness of Silicon Slopes. Next one is when you're actually touring the rental property. So this would be kind of the second checklist, is, okay, scheduling showings and actually doing the showings. So third one is going to be signing the lease. Now, this is a big one. If you haven't rented in a long time, it may be a little bit different from what you're used to, because now there's application fees, there may be lease origination fees, credit checks, background checks. There's a lot more that goes into screening than maybe what you're accustomed to. And if you haven't done it before, you want to make sure that you're organized. So first thing you want to do also before signing that lease is read it. Even if it's a DIY owner, a Utah Apartment Association lease, or a property management company, make sure you understand what you're signing up for, and don't just glaze over it like the terms and conditions that you get from your phone company of 30 different pages. Make sure you read that lease agreement. Also making sure that you're switching utilities into your name. Most properties are going to have a landlord policy on there, meaning gas, electric will be in the tenant's name. Sometimes cities like Lehigh, you may have water, sewer, trash, gas, and electric in your name. So setting up those utilities into your name, a lot of times property management companies will help with that, but you want to do that because I know we don't give keys to tenants until we have confirmation that that has been done. Document the property. Now, when you're a tenant, property management companies, DIY landlords, they're probably taking videos and photos, doing move-in inspection reports, but you also want to have your own documentation so that if they're trying to charge you for something that you didn't do and it was there when you moved in, having that documentation is really the ammunition that you need when you do, dispute that deposit disposition. And if it goes to small claims court, you want to make sure you have that evidence. Another big one, determine how you're going to pay that rent, right? Don't pick a place that's too expensive. You want to make sure that you're really looking at your monthly debt to income ratio. Do you have recurring payments like school debt, or your daycare for your kids, car payments, whatever it may be? Look at the big picture and make sure that you can actually afford that property. Another big one too is whether you're with a management company or with a DIY owner, maintenance is a piece of living in that property. And that's one of the benefits of renting, is that you're not responsible to maintain that property for wear and tear, things that just stop working. So have a clear expectation with that property owner or that property management company of, if the furnace stops working and it's the middle of winter, how do I submit a maintenance request? And another big one, never stop paying rent. Whatever you do, always pay rent, because it is something that will, potentially affect your credit score. The last thing you want to have is an eviction, because you want to be on a do not rent to list. So make sure that you're paying rent. So again, this is just a quick list of some of the things that you should focus on when you're looking to rent here in Utah. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to get you connected to our leasing team. There's our website, my phone number. Feel free to reach out. And if you have questions about renting, I'll make sure to get you to the right people to help. Thank you.